Water is the most important resource in the world. Canada luckily has 20% of the world's fresh water, more than anywhere else. The water most of us enjoy is clean and safe to use. But it's not that way for everyone. In 2015, there were 140 long-term water advisories on reserves across Canada. This means over 10,000 households could not safely use the water that came from their tap. This figure does not include any reserves north of 60 degrees. A water advisory means that the water in that area is unsafe for human use. Water under advisory can cause rashes from contact, like if you were having a shower, or illnesses ranging from gastrointestinal issues to mercury poisoning. There are two types of water advisories. The first type is a boil advisory, where residents have to boil all water from their taps before using it for any reason. The second type of advisory is a do not consume advisory. Residents cannot drink the water at all. This means that water has to be flown in, packaged in bottles. These conditions are nothing new. The Ontario community of Shoal Lake has been under a water advisory since 1997. Their reserve was cut off from the regular supply of fresh water to make an aqueduct to supply fresh water to the city of Winnipeg. There are people in the community who have never been able to trust their tap water their entire lives. Their advisory is still ongoing. Thankfully, the Canadian government has put plans and funding into place to help solve the water crisis on reserves. Remember those 140 water advisories in 2015? Only 59 of them are ongoing. The federal government has ended 81 long-term advisories since 2015 and is in the process of ending more. The Shoal Lake community is scheduled to have clean, safe water again by 2020. In recent years, the issue of substandard living conditions on reserves has been talked about more and more. Thankfully, with this exposure comes more help for these communities. The federal government is responsible for the reserves in Canada. This means that the conditions on reserves is a federal issue. So in the 2019 federal election, pay attention and vote to help these Canadians access the same living standards as the rest of us.